Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our daily gratitude call. Super happy to be starting a brand new day. I got up early this morning, got my daily GPS done, set my new goals for the week. I was a little bit off. Usually I do my goal setting on the weekend, but I missed a couple of days over the last couple of weeks of my daily GPS, so I'm a little bit off. But I'm super excited for this week and planning a new masterclass in a couple of weeks. It's going to be on July 28th, so save the date. We're going to be doing it in the evening. I just felt I was going to plan on doing it around 1 o'clock, and then I kept thinking, you know what, the people who need this are probably working at that time. And so I moved it to 6 o'clock p.m. my time, Mountain Daylight Time. So that would be like 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And what is that? 5 o'clock Pacific. Anyway, so save the date, put that on, block that out on your calendar so that you can plan on being there. Go to my Facebook page and my Facebook groups. I'm going to be posting a bunch of stuff there. The masterclass this month is the architecture of life. I can't remember the full tagline, but basically it's God's blueprint, how he created the earth in 7 days. And that's you creating a business in 7 days that multiplies and replenishes itself, just like God created the earth in 7 days that multiplies and replenishes itself. So anyway, that's what our masterclass is going to be on for July. And I'm super excited about these masterclasses. I'm planning on continuing them. I actually already know what August is going to be. I think it was in the Lord's Way to Wealth group. I posted a question, what would you like to see in a master class? And I've been writing those down and keeping a list of them. The thought that I had this morning for August is not any of those, but I am keeping that record. And I know, and they're all awesome suggestions. So you'll be super excited for August, but focus on July right now. Well, thanks everybody for being on the call today live, and also those who are listening on the podcast. Today, as we were doing our rounds of gratitude, a lot of people were grateful for friends or family. One person mentioned before we, kind of officially started our call this morning that she was heading on a vacation to meet with some friends, to revisit friends that were place that she used to live. And one of the other people said that he's going to visit a daughter tomorrow, something, and out of state. And so just super excited for friends and family. And there were just lots of things like great friends who give new perspective. Grateful for good friends, grateful for my son's example, grateful for my children, lots of really awesome friends and family things that people are grateful for today. So I felt like that would just be a fun thing to focus on, just friends and family. So I'm going to set my timer for 90 seconds, and we're going to do a private silent meditation on gratitude for friends and family, and we'll see what comes up. So 90 seconds, just writing down whatever comes to you. Gratitude for friends and family. Begin. All right. Well, I feel like I'm just like opening the door to something and just getting started. But I'll share what I have, and then I can continue this later. The first thing that came to me was my children. I really am so grateful for my children. I'm grateful that they are all still close in proximity to me, and also that they get together. I think it was Saturday. I drove home and saw my two daughters that don't live with me, cars here. And I came in, and all my three girls were in swimsuits. They had flotation devices, and they were heading up to the reservoir and together. And this was just an outing that they had planned completely unbeknownst to me. And they met here and grabbed a bunch of food and a cooler and just towels and everything, and just took off and were gone for a couple of hours to the reservoir, just a place about, 15 or 20 minutes from where we live. And it just really was so stirring to my heart to see that they were creating outings together as sisters. And I was just super grateful for that. And the next thing that came to me was I went and visited my mom last night, and we were talking about gathering together as a church group. And we've just recently been able to start doing that just in short, just for like 30 minutes. I was able to go, not last Sunday, but the Sunday before. We've split our congregation in like 4 groups. And so they're smaller groups, and we just meet for about 30 minutes. And so my group met a couple of weeks ago, and it was such an awesome feeling to get together, to actually go into the church building. We've been kind of doing our own worship here at home, me and my husband and any of my girls that want to join. And that's been awesome. It's been a different experience. It's been really, really great. So that family connection that we're having there. And when I met with our group, my husband didn't go. So I just went on my own to church a couple of weeks ago. And that was a totally different experience. And I felt like crying the whole time. I just felt like the Spirit was really strong there in the church building, and with all the people gathering together and just friends reconnecting. We just kind of kept our 6-foot different distance and talked outside, but it was just really fun to be able to connect with friends in a spiritual sense. I was watching a video by, I can't think of his first name, but Bednar was his last name. And he was talking about how important it is that during this COVID-19, that our spiritual needs are just as important as our physical needs. We banning or, saying that you can't meet together as a group in a church, that is to me, just as needful as going to the store to buy some groceries. And so when I listened to that video, I was like, you know what, that's absolutely right. That our spiritual needs are just as important, if not more important, during this time. So I have more, but I think that's all I'll share. Open it up for you guys to share something. Who has something they'd like to share?
I do.
Thanks, Michelle.
You're welcome. So a couple things that showed up for me was one of them was my grandma. She's dear to my heart, and she's helped me throughout my life, like beyond. She helped me recognize the things that I struggled with in my life and pointed it out, yet I didn't want to believe it. I was in denial, for the longest time, to see that I had depression. But she pointed it out to me, and it was dear to me, knowing that she cared and that she was willing to help me. So my grandma is like my rock and and she's still alive to this day, and I love to go visit her.
Beautiful.
She's a sweet, sweet woman. And then also friends. Like I said, like my friend Crystal is one of many friends that are dear to my heart. Because I've been truly blessed with friends that have inspiration to reach out to me, because any father talks to them and said, to send a message. And that's what one of my friends did yesterday. And she's like a dear sister to me. I know her since high school. And she reached out to me last night to just let me know that I was doing a good job. And that meant a lot to me, knowing that God is in tune, and that she was in tune enough to, to reach out to me and let me know that I was doing a good job despite all that's been going on, and that he was aware of the things I've been, that I've been, struggling with. And he's letting me know that he's aware of me and that he loved me. So that was very special.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Dear friends and family who have a stewardship and they have sort of an energetic connection or contract with us, and that they can receive inspiration to maybe help open our minds to things that we can't see. I just think that's such a beautiful thing, that there are other people out there that are kind of like angels or guardians for us on earth that can hear when we are when our minds are clouded and we can't hear. Thank you. Who else?
I was just thinking how the same sociality that exists around us now will exist in heaven. And so I'm so grateful for the ability to develop my ability to communicate and repent and become better and just work on those different things. And also, I was just thinking about how being around people, especially for like extroverts and people that love to be social, it really increases our immune response and I can't think of the word, our immunity with just being around each other, and that's just that love. And so I'm grateful for the time that we can get together and visit.
Well, beautiful. Thank you. And I think it's very beneficial for us to really make the effort that when we do have some opportunities to get together and to have that sociality, like you mentioned. I hadn't thought about that, but it truly does help to increase our immune system. It's often been said, laughter is the best medicine. And when we get together and can create some really fun memories, that can really stimulate and increase our energy. I love that idea of, that sociality that we're going to be experiencing in heaven, that we have the opportunity to have that same kind of interaction here. And now is the time for us to really put an effort into creating that, because it's healthy. It's something that we definitely want to maintain. Thank you. Who else?
I would.
Ruby.
Yes. These are just descriptions. So think in your heart as I say these. Time well spent, memories to cherish, laughter, tears, affection, tenderness, hugs, lessons, anger, frustration, eternal love, and saying goodbye.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. I'm just reiterating, that just reiterates how important it is for us to have those connections, even if it's just over, Marco Polo or one of our technology, Zoom, or even telephone, to have those connections and to create those feelings, because otherwise it's just like me. And all of these things that you mentioned are things that happen when there's more than just me, and such beautiful emotions that we have the capacity to experience. Thank you. Who else? Maybe get one or two more shares.
I'll share.
Thanks, Melissa.
I really liked what Ruby just said. I just feel like people are the reason we live. Like, if I didn't have the friendships and the family relationships I had, then my life would be so meaningless. And I feel really grateful for feeling like I belong. My friends in my old town that I grew up in, I'm going back to visit them. And one of my friends just recently had a birthday, and they were going to meet last weekend on her birthday, but she knew I was coming into town, so she wanted to wait for me to be there so that we could celebrate. And it just meant so much to me that she would think about me like that. And I was on a group text that I used to be on all the time. And so it just really warmed my heart to just know that I still have those friendships, and that even though time, distance separates us, when we go back, it's like we never left. And I just love those kind of friendships.
Awesome. I actually am getting a little bit emotional, because when you said, going back and it's like you never left, going back to what Tyree said, what a beautiful feeling that is to go, quote, home, and know that you still belong there, and it's like you never left. That's such a beautiful feeling. I always love when my kids come home and it's like they never left. It's just this beautiful, warm feeling. Thank you. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
I have something to share that a good friend helped me come to realize yesterday. A few good friends, actually. True friends and family have no ill judgment or wishes upon you. They want you to get what you want, and you want them to get what they want. During this journey in life, you are happily resources to one another, creating individually as well as easily enjoying and creating as a group.
Beautiful. Thank you, Melinda. You are just this wonderful philosopher yesterday and today. You've said some really profound things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and just take a deep breath. I appreciate everything that has been shared and this feeling that has been created here on the call. I want to mention, because I know we have several new people on the call, we do have a group text for those who are on the live call regularly. A lot of times we open up some really cool stuff on the call, and the call ends, and then I'll get a text, and it just kind of builds from there. And anyway, so if you are on the live call and you'd like to be on that group text, make sure that you reach out to me in private message on Facebook and give me your phone number so we can put you on that. And it's just such a awesome feeling to, like has been said, to know that you belong and to feel that warmth of friendship and family. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. And just feeling and expressing gratitude for your connection with whatever friends and family means to you. This call, or your own individual family, friends from the past where you used to live, friends in a new neighborhood, friends and family long since gone, ancestors, whatever, the whole human family, God's family, whatever that means to you. Just be aware of all the different connections that we have, and the friends and family that support us, that love us, that we support and love, and that circle of love and warmth that is felt within just the feeling of friends and family. One more deep breath. And I feel like in this time right now, for us to be considering friends and family and the connection that we can create, kind of a community feeling that can be created even in a time of separation. what is the one most important thing you can do today? What's your inspired shortcut to create more, deeper, and more connection within friends and family setting? What's one thing that you can do today? What's your inspired shortcut to creating deeper connection and inviting some of those feelings that have been expressed today in a more profound way, raising your physical energy, your emotional energy, your spiritual energy, all of that by connection with friends and family. And as you are becoming clear with what your one most important step is today, what's the limiting belief coming up that would maybe stop you from taking action on that inspired shortcut? What's the limiting belief? And with every limiting belief, there is a cost. If you keep or hold on to that limiting belief, what is that going to create for you? Is it going to allow you to move forward with this inspired shortcut very confidently, or will it get in the way? And what is the long-term outcome? If you hold on to that limiting belief, what does that produce for your relationships, for your connection, for your ability to connect? And if you don't like that cost, you can totally give yourself permission to choose a new belief. You can let go of that limiting belief and choose something new. And so if you're ready to give yourself permission to choose a new belief, say yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Awesome. And with those new beliefs, I invite you to really bring those new beliefs into your consciousness and into your subconscious. So just allow those new beliefs to be breathed in, become part of you, so that they just, it's like second nature, that this is how you, well, first of all, you got to create the new beliefs. So create the new beliefs. I got to step ahead of myself. So create your new beliefs, 2 or 3 new beliefs that will replace that old limiting belief and that will give you permission to connect in a deeper way, to move forward with your inspired shortcut. And then as you're getting clear with those new beliefs, bring those in so that they are second nature to you, so that they are just part of you. This is just how you do life. And you can be creative, you can be resourceful, that you can find whatever means necessary to create that connection that you know is super important for us as human beings, to not feel alone, to feel like we belong, to have that warmth and feeling of welcome that comes with connection. And especially a feeling of friends and family. Just bring that in and know that you can move forward with confidence with these new beliefs. In a moment, I'm going to open it up for a couple of shares. And I also want to mention that if anyone is feeling like they are separated or alone or just don't have the support that they need, I would love to have a 15-minute conversation with you. So, and all you have to do is just go to askwylene.com, and that will take you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call. And if you have not joined this call live, I invite you to do so. 7 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time, just get on here and feel the feeling of friends and family, because you do belong. If you are here live or if you're here on the podcast, you do belong. Who has something that they would like to share about their experience today?
I do, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it, Michelle.
I just had a really strong inspiration to share this, and how strong it felt for someone else that might need to hear it. Because, we're talking about how, having these friendships and your family. And one thing that I'm working on is rebuilding a friendship or a relationship with a family member. And that is my dad. I called him yesterday, and I realized how important it is, even though it's been so hard throughout my life, to rebuild this relationship with my dad, because it's just it's nuts, anyway, it's personal, but just because of the situation, my mom and my dad got divorced, and then my dad hasn't been in the picture throughout my childhood, and so I didn't have a relationship with him, and it was hard to get a relationship because I felt abandoned, right, all this time. But now he really wants a relationship, and I would push it away, the thought of this relationship. But then I've been rethinking about it, that I want this relationship because it's a new time, a new beginning,
Beautiful.
that I can rebuild this relationship with him, and it's okay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate you sharing that. And I know that there are others on this call that have experienced that, with whether that be a parent or a spouse or a child, or, even just a really good friend, that to be able to let down those walls, to be able to stop pushing away the really what we really want because of fear or, a limiting belief or whatever. I'm so grateful for you sharing that. Thank you. It's beautiful. Any other thoughts before we end our call today?
I have one.
Thanks, Ruby.
My mom is going to be 87 this year, and so her cycle of life is coming to a close. And yeah, she was my abuser, and it'll hurt me. I will feel a greater sense of loss when she passes away than when my dad passes away, because my dad and I have a complete friendship and understanding. And the reason why I say this is because it's important that we have good relationships with people that we love, even those that don't love us. She pushes me away because she feels now at this age guilty for all the harm and hurt that she did. And she doesn't have the capacity to love herself, which is so sad. And what she doesn't realize is that I forgive her. And I realize that she made some poor choices. Those were her choices to make. I still love her. And I will miss and grieve more deeply at her loss, simply because we didn't have the time, because she was afraid to make it, to resolve these issues. So we need to make sure that we have and take the time to have greater expressions of love and compassion to those family and friends that we love or had inadvertently hurt us or did it on purpose. It's important to be able to let them know that you hold no grudge. And that way there are no unresolved issues when it is their time to pass.
Awesome. Thank you. Couple of thoughts, from what you and Michelle have shared, how important it is for us to do our part in resolving differences. We can't, choose how the other person will receive it. But my guess is that if you are putting that effort in and doing everything that you know to do, and emptying your heart of all of those negative emotions and then turning it over to Christ to make up the difference, and knowing that his atonement really applies to all hurts and all things that need to be healed, and that through you doing your part and inviting Christ's atonement into the space, that you can let that go and allow the other person to make their own choices, but that you can have that good feeling in your heart and create a healed relationship within your own heart. And I feel like that's what's most important, that we do our part to heal the relationship or to resolve differences, not push it away, to really embrace. And also, just want to say that there are some relationships that we can totally forgive, we can let go of, we can love, we can heal, within our own hearts. But because of a pattern of abuse or something like that, that we don't necessarily have to, be in that person's space and allow ourselves to continue to be abused. There does not have to be hurt held, and there doesn't have to be regret, even if we choose that is not a relationship that gets to continue because of, because I love myself enough to want to be, have a good life, a good, happy life that is, that doesn't have abuse in it. So thank you for so much, wonderful advice and thoughts that have been shared today. We are at the end of our time. I would love to continue hearing your thoughts. Go to the Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, continue sharing there. We'd love to continue this conversation. And thank you for being on this call today. It's just really opened up a space of love in my heart for you and for all of those that I love and care about, my friends and family, which you are part of. So thank you, and we'll look forward to being back together tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.